Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I'm open to many of the nominees. I thought that's been part of the ongoing dialogue, that I've been happy to meet with all of them, and I think I've met with virtually all of them. And I've been watching the hearings, and now that's an ongoing dialogue. So nothing really has changed.
What about Hegseth? You met with him. He had his hearing yesterday. Are you inclined to support him?
No, I'm inclined to continue part of the ongoing process until we're up to that point. And I have met with my colleagues, both on my side, but also in the Republican caucus, about the hearing and that issues.
How was your meeting with Trump over the weekend?
It's really pretty much like the way the incoming president described. It was a positive experience. I was glad to do it. I appreciate the opportunity, and it was a good conversation.
WTF, John Fetterman.
Hello.
Charlie, I don't get this bending of the knee. I really don't. So Trump fawned over Fetterman after the meeting at Mar-a-Lago, calling him fascinating. A man he could not be more impressed by. He said he's fascinating man. His wife is lovely. I couldn't be more impressed. He's not liberal or conservative. Really? Because he ran as the progressive, alternative to Connor Lamb. So, what is going on?
Exactly. And at the time, he was the progressive alternative to Connor Lamb.
Right.
But he's looking at I liken this to all those, ambitious Democrats in 2002 who thought the smart play was voting for the Iraq War.
Right.
That was not the vote that was going to come back and bite them.
Yep.
Voting for it was going to come back and bite them.
And Charlie,
how'd that work out for everybody?
Right.
Thank you. And Charlie, thank you for mentioning later in your column, speaking of Democrats playing by different rules, the Democrats that condemn Biden for pardoning Hunter, this is all you need. From Politico, the House Judiciary will continue its probe into the criminal investigation of Hunter Biden, Committee Chairman Jim Jordan said in an interview Thursday. They write, the sweeping pardon of his son is unlikely to serve as a total shield for the next 4 years. And you said, excuse me, how is the president's pardon power not a total shield? What part of unconditional does Jordan not understand? Well, to me, that validates President Biden's choice right there. Of course they're going to keep going after Hunter Biden.
What they're going to do is they're going to drag Hunter before the committee and ask him about his uncles or his father and hope to catch him in some, mistake of fact that they can blow up into a perjury indictment.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of actual crime, let's talk. You read the entire Jack Smith report. You did your homework. You're a good boy.
I did. It's only 138 pages long. It's a very easy read.
Yeah.
As these things go.
Right.
And what can I say? The man had the goods.
Thank you.
He really did. He wasn't selling wolf tickets. The guy had the guy cold.
Yeah.
But we can't go in the. It does appear though that Merrick Garland finally found the bottom of his big bag of, and found that it was empty finally. So he released this thing at 1:00 in the morning.
Well, the thing expired at midnight, correct?
Yeah, I know. But he waited an hour after that.
Yeah.
To make sure he was clear. It was, I got woken up in the middle of the night by a whole bunch of news notifications on my phone.
Yeah. I'm waiting for fire alerts.
That's true. Yeah, you guys have more important things to look at your phone about. Are they really sending out fake fire alerts?
Yes.
They did it once.
It was a mistake.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. It's not some prankster.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's just a misunderstanding.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because, it's hard for me to, but I was during my days as a forest ranger for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I was in one tiny forest fire that we had to put out in the state forest where I work. That is freaking terrifying.
Yeah. I did not know that about you.
I was a forest ranger for 3 summers.
Wow.
You should have seen me. I had a little shirt with a patch on.
Wow.
So cute.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
forest
they
ranger.
didn't make us wear the hats, though, which was good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it all week, Charlie. We are just in a hurricane of fire and of disinformation, and it is exhausting. You know.
Yeah, I wrote for the subscriber-only newsletter, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Yes.
at Esquire, about the Peshtigo fire in 1871, which a lot of people never heard of because it happened the same day as the Great Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
But it was described, it was a logging town, and 1,500 people died, and probably more, and 350 of them weren't even identified. They were capable of being identified. Anyway, it was described by everybody as a tornado of fire.
Yeah.
These things create their own weather.
Yeah. They're saying I don't know which one it is. There's tornadoes of fire in the middle of the hurricane of fire.
Yeah.
So it's okay. What real quick, I was going to say, this
Yeah,
doesn't.
I agree with Jody and Chris, by the way. The Ukrainian firemen have enough to do.
I know.
Yes. They can stay
I know,
home.
but just it
We
gives you.
appreciate
They
it.
can
We
send a nice
appreciate the
fruit
thought.
basket.
But it just tells you where we're at, and and how friggin' ominous what's going to happen in a few days is. Is while they're offering us help, Trump's saying, "Oh, it's totally up to Putin." That's the only strategy
Yeah.
in Ukraine.
Yeah. I'd once again like to thank the voters of Alabama for trading Doug Jones for that half-price football coach.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, I'm reading from when it became clear Trump had lost the election and that lawful means of challenging election results had failed, he resorted to a series of criminal efforts to retain power. I mean, you're right, Charlie. This doesn't get any clearer. Like you said, he's got the goods.
Well, not the stuff, but the subtext of
he
it.
would have been convicted, etc.
Yeah, I mean, the subtext of it is, first of all, he absolutely shreds the Supreme Court immunity decision without saying he's going to do that. He shows what a farce this distinction between official and unofficial acts is.
Yeah.
In this particular context.
Yeah.
And he also kind of throws an oblique shot at that Department of Justice policy of not indicting a criminal president.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because he does keep all the way through. He maintains the principle that this was a unique set of circumstances and a unique set of crimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the usual policy rules didn't apply.
And by the way, the lying, it never stops, ever. So Trump posted, this is the middle of the night statement from the bassinet. To show how desperate deranged Jack Smith is, he released his fake findings at 1 a.m. in the morning. Right, because the court order is until midnight.
Right.
Okay. Did he say the Unselect Committee illegally destroyed and deleted all the evidence? No! He keeps repeating that lie. It is available online. Charlie, I don't know if, as a lifelong journalist, you
Well, by
have
the way,
any...
Jack Smith didn't release the report.
Right.
Merrick Garland did.
Yes,
Right.
he did.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Right. So what is the clock on this, the classified documents thing?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it all depends on the whimsical, stylings of the former flamenco dance critic down in Florida.
Yeah, I know. I mean, which
That was, by the way, her previous job. She was a dance critic for a local newspaper.
was she seriously? I didn't.
I believe that's
I didn't,
Wow.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.